so much for tuning into this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Be sure to subscribe to The Kim Jacobs Show right on YouTube. Turn on your notification bell to all so you never miss a beat. And guess what? Every time you watch, you're going to receive a real relevant and relatable guest that's going to share with you a piece of the puzzle on this journey called life that will help you be able to manage just a little bit smoother. At the end of the day, the Kim Jacobs Show goal is to be able to provide balance to the world, one household at a time.
Kim Jacobs Show. You're watching Kim Jacobs Show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. How are you, Alex, all the way from Los Angeles, California?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great as well. I'm so excited to have you. That's why I think I like virtual sometimes, because I get a chance to connect with people all around the world that I didn't have to fly you into Charlotte in order for me to encounter you today. So I'm so glad to have you here on The Kim Jacobs Show. And I know it's pretty early there, so...
It's a bit early here, but I'm thrilled to be here. I love your show and I'm really happy for the conversation we're about to have.
I'm excited as well. Listen, everybody, grab your virtual seats. Let everybody know that today we're talking with Alex Kapp, and we're going to be talking about creativity and how you get to utilize creativity even when we're going through some traumatic times in our lives, some things that we weren't necessarily expecting that would come our way, but yet we still need to figure out how to pick ourselves up, be creative, and continue on this journey called life. And so Alex is here today, and she's going to be sharing her journey. And all of you all that are coming in, please let us know where you're visiting in from. Share your comments, what you resonate with Alex, maybe a piece of her story that kind of resonates with you as well. And type those comments. We'll keep them coming throughout today's broadcast. So when we come right back after this commercial break, we're going to hear from Alex Kapp, learn more about her, and let's deep dive into her backstory. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
I'm attorney Kenneth D. Snow, and at the Snow Legal Group, justice is our job.
For more than 20 years, Attorney Snow has been fighting for justice and winning cases in the Carolinas by providing aggressive representation in criminal defense, domestic violence, family law, serious injury, and wrongful death. If you've been injured or lost a loved one in an accident, including tractor trailer or rideshare, you need the Snow Legal Group by your side, fighting for justice and fighting for you. Visit snowlegal.com. Call 704-358-0026 for a free virtual consultation. Located at 6827 Fairview Road, Suite D in South Park.
All right, everyone, and we are back. We're talking with Alex Kapp today, and Alex Kapp is a creativity coach. She's a musical keynote speaker, keep that in mind, a musical keynote speaker, and the founder of Creative Self-Revolution in Los Angeles. As a multi-business owner and music artist, she has amassed over 50,000 social media followers, over 250,000 song plays, and over 1 million views on YouTube. She currently works with women, and these women sometimes feel stuck, unfulfilled, and we're going to talk about that from her personal story. And today she is here to talk to us about her powerful journey, the inspiration that God has given her to go worldwide, to give people powerful tools involving creativity and mindset and empowerment. Welcome, Alex Kapp, to the Kim Jacobs Show.
Well, thank you so much. Appreciate the introduction.
We're glad to have you, Alex. Listen, talk to us and take us back on your journey, because you seem so light and free-spirited and loving and kind. I want to know more about, where did you come from? Where did it all begin for you?
And where did it all go wrong?
Yeah.
I came from Ohio. So I'm from the Midwest, and I discovered what I wanted to do really young. I got on stage for a dance concert at age 4, and I had a sort of light bulb moment where I thought, yeah, this is what I want to do with the rest of my life. And so I loved the expression and connecting with an audience and just, that all of that stuff. And so I tried different types of creativity over time, sort of landed on music as my main one. And I decided, from my little girl in Ohio, I want to move to Los Angeles. I want to be in Hollywood. I want to be a successful artist. I want to get a record label. That's what I want to do. So, so I drove out to LA, and I didn't really know anybody. I didn't know how it was going to happen, but I just knew this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So, I had some classic starving artist LA lifestyle stuff going on, and worked every possible day job you can think of while I was starting to like book myself some shows and starting to catch the attention of some record labels. And so obviously this is a way accelerated version. In my head, this part took forever.
Oh,
but
yeah, I was gonna say, you're saying that real quick, but we've been to LA and it takes quite a bit of
It
work and
takes
effort and
time.
laying on couches and random places and just all kinds of stuff. So you really have to have like that desire
Yes.
to be a part of that world. So go ahead.
Yeah, you got to have burning desire and sort of, be willing to take rejection and everything else. You just got to believe in what you're doing, which I
Right.
think is true for anything. If you're really passionate about what you're doing, you're going to just, stay the course.
That's right.
So, yeah. So I eventually caught the attention of a label after some of these shows that I was doing. And I went in and I played them a bunch of my songs, and they decided to sign me. And so that was amazing. And it was, it was what I wanted to happen, and it happened. And so we started to, record an album. We started to put together a show with dancers. It was all very awesome. And so right at the part right before the album came out, right before the shows were about to go live,
Right. ...
there's not going to be a perfect trajectory to this story. So at that point, the label.
Wait, before you, because I think you're going to go somewhere, and I don't really know where you're going because we didn't pre-rehearse or anything, and that's the beauty of the Kim Jacobs Show. So you're able to just literally share your story. But I want to find out, up until this point, you were thinking what? That everything is on track. What were you thinking before you tell us the rest?
Yeah, so I was thinking, this is exactly what I wanted to happen. And I wanted to do, I'm a guitar player now. I'm a singer-songwriter with a guitar, but that wasn't my initial vision. I envisioned myself more like a dancer, singer on stage. And so I had backup dancers in the show that we were putting together. The album was really exciting, and I had some really amazing musicians coming into play on it. So I thought, this is great. I love how this sounds. People are going to love this. I can't wait to go perform it in front of people. Like, everything is coming together.
Right. So then something happens as it's all coming together, is right on point. And what happens?
So what happened was that the label folded, which means that
the label, I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I get called in to talk to them about that, and that, the label's going to fold. Therefore, all the stuff we'd done, all the songs that were my songs, were gone. The show wasn't going to happen. There wasn't going to be any distribution. Like, the entire thing just sort of like disappeared. And so, as you might imagine, being that close to the stuff that you want to happen, and then just have it just taken right out from under you.
Right from under you. Wow.
Right from under you. It was pretty devastating to me, and I was not really strong enough to deal with something at that particular time. And it sort of just sent me into a downward spiral. And it was traumatic to me, to be that close and just have it taken away that quickly. And so it ended up sort of like triggering other traumatic memories of things I hadn't dealt with. And so then that piled on top of what was happening there. And I just sort of went down the, downward spiral till I hit a point where it was basically like a rock bottom moment where I was just a mess, emotionally, physically, everything. I just thought, okay, either I can just, I don't know what, or I can go take care of myself and, work on myself and figure out what to do next.
And how old were you at this time when all of this unraveled?
I was in my 20s, so it wasn't, luckily it wasn't later than that. And I decided I'm going to go back home to Ohio, and I'm going to try to like put myself back together. And so I drove back across the country. Luckily, I have amazing family, amazing parents who were willing to help me when I was in this really bad place. And I tried some different things. I mean, I did some therapy and things like that, but I really leaned into my creativity, which, as you heard from my story, has always been there. But I leaned into it in like a really deep way. And I discovered that it was actually really healing. And it has real healing properties. And I was starting to feel better about myself. I was starting to really understand what was happening. Got to a point where I really was liking who I was, which hadn't really been the case before. And so I started to come up out of that black hole, and it did feel like cobbling myself back together in a way where I felt solid and strong and like I can deal with whatever happens. But I mean, I'm sort of glossing over the whole thing. We can go into
I
of
know
the stuff
you are,
that happened.
I want to ask you another question too about creativity. How did you know which creativity to tap into? Because we all have creativity, but
That's a
how
great
did
question.
you know specifically which piece of the creativity would help pull you out of this situation?
At that time, I didn't really know. So I just sort of tried different things. My main
Okay.
forms of creativity were writing and music. And so that's where I went first. And luckily for me, those work pretty well. But I mean, I did some things like drawing. I did a lot of free writing. I did poetry. I did songwriting. I just would play some instrumental music sometimes. But you don't necessarily know which thing is going to help you. And the amazing thing about creativity is there's so many different ways you can do it. It can be anything from like quilting. I mean, cooking can be a creative thing. It's not just like playing an instrument. It's not just being artistic. There's different ways that you can use that part of yourself. And when you do, you really connect to who you are. And a lot of times we lose touch with who we are over time. I think it especially happens for women, and they start to define themselves by a job or by being a mother or by being a wife or partner. And they lose touch with who am I underneath all of that. And
Right.
sometimes they hit a moment where they're like, I need to figure out who I am so that I can move forward in a way that feels good to me.
That's good. That's good advice, because we don't all know, especially a lot of people watching today's episode. Many of them have families. They're running, is a lot of busyness, and you name it, it's happening. Going to extracurricular activities, trying to help teenagers drive, taking people doing so many different hats that
Yeah.
we wear, and yet we're still having to be pulled on and say, hey, I need you for this, I need you for that, I need you for that. So we don't always know what creativity even lies within us until we get an opportunity to hear someone like yourself. Everyone, we're talking today with Alex Kapp, and she is the owner of Creative Self Revolution. And it is a revolution, because some of the things that she's gone through in life, again, she's keeping it on a more surface level, but we're going to see how deep she really wants to go after this commercial break, and if she wants to share some of her further backstory with you. I see you coming into the studio audience, so thank you so much, Pastor Paulette Harper. And she is the author of The Breaking Point. You two would be great to connect. She has an anthology with, I think it's 20-something women that are a part of a book called The Breaking Point that's being released in April, on April 19th. And glad to have you here today. She was a guest as well this week, her and some of the other anthology contributing authors. Let's see. I see you, Pastor Justine Hilliard, Lady Justine Hilliard. Good morning to you. And I see another Facebook user as well. Glad to have you on. I see you also, Mommy. You said, good morning, Kim and Alex. I am watching and looking forward to a great show. Thank you. Thank you. And anyone else that's coming in, go ahead and pop your comments in. Let us know that you're here. And if you have any questions or comments, type them in. Hey, Athena, our sunshine expert. Glad to have you here. And yes, so true. Someone said, losing touch happens. Losing touch. That's really important. All right, listen, when we come back from this commercial break, tell us, where did things, like in Los Angeles, you were there, you found out that the whole thing crumbled, basically. And you said you went into a deep state of depression. What piece of the story, because you have a lot of moving pieces, do you want people to walk away knowing that could help inspire them in maybe whatever walk of life that they are dealing with? So when you come back, just whatever it is that you want to share, we'll look forward to hearing it right after this commercial break, everybody.
It's not just another day. It's a brand new day, full of all the fun, love, and laughter you and your family create. Silver Shield Security understands feeling at home means feeling safe and happy. No credit checks, no contracts. We offer payment arrangements, and we'll even give you a free door camera. Find out how we can brighten your day even more at silvershield-security.com. Silver Shield Security.
All right, we're back and we're talking with Alex Kapp, who is the founder of Creative Self Revolution. She lives in Los Angeles, California, and has been on an interesting journey as she's expressed her own creativity through dealing with trauma in her own life. So take us back and talk to us about what traumatic experiences really changed your life.
Yeah, and I'd love to answer the question you asked just before the break where you said, what would I
Yeah.
like people to take away? And I think the main thing is that, first of all, everybody is creative. Sometimes we start to think that, oh, I used to be creative as a kid, but I'm not anymore. But everybody is creative. It's just a matter of connecting to it. And that creativity can be used to process anything that happens. So anything from like a little thing that's going on to something bigger that's happening in the world to something traumatic that happens to you. It's a processing tool for any part of life, and it enhances every part of life, from your personal life to your relationships to your job. And so that's really important for me to express.
I love that. I think, and even before we even go to the trauma part, I think that's so important that if each of us tap into that place of using our creativity, even though we may not know it. I know for me, I would advise people, because I'm the balance doctor, to just talk to some of your friends. And I wrote about that in a book, Extreme Balance Makeover. If you don't know what creativity you possess or what talents or gifts you possess, literally ask some of your closest friends and let them tell you what they see in you, because that's something that can help spark a thought that maybe you didn't even know you were gifted at accomplishing. So sometimes, like Les Brown says, because we're in the picture frame, we don't get a chance to see ourselves, but other people get a chance to see us from a different lens. So I love the fact that you said that we're all creative and it can be used to process anything that happens in our lives. Go ahead.
Yes, so absolutely. So I used it to process sort of what happened to me with the label folding, but one of the memories that was triggered from that was a sexual assault that had happened a while back, which I had completely blocked out of my head. I had no memory that it had happened. And I thought that was actually really weird until recently. I've learned that it takes a lot of people 7 to 10 years to actually process something like that, for their brain to get itself around that and then to start to deal with it. So it protects itself by suppressing it for a while. And that is what happened for me. So when it came back to the surface, I was surprised and, confused, and then very, very upset, having sort of like relived that. And so that just really like sent me down into a deeper spiral. And unfortunately, and we were talking about this a little before the show, so many women have experienced something like this on a smaller scale or a bigger scale. And it's something like 1 out of 3 women that have experienced this type of thing. So it's not uncommon at all, unfortunately. But for me, mine was, I'm not going to go into like the details of exactly what happened, but it was definitely not good. And it took me a really long time to heal from that, and to be able to start to like trust men again, and to open my heart up and that kind of stuff. But the way that I worked my way through that was through a creative process. And that was just really powerful to me. And that's when I realized, oh my gosh, maybe I can help other women with this, because this is such a powerful tool.
Yes. And, I'm so grateful that you are taking your traumatic experience and just packaging it in a way to be able to be a blessing to the rest of us as women in this world, and even the men that are watching as well.
Sure.
Let me ask you from a myth perspective. Sometimes I've heard, and you can tell me your perspective on it, I've heard people say, well, we have to be careful how we position ourselves in different things so that we don't get into these situations where something is kind of thrust upon us that we didn't want to have happen. You being someone that's experienced this firsthand for real, I already know that's not true, that you can think that you're doing everything the right way, but I want to hear your take on it.
Yeah, one of the disturbing statistics about sexual assault is that it's very often by somebody that you know and somebody that you trust. And so to me, that makes it worse. If it's just some stranger, then you can kind of like move on with your life. But if you are really trusting this person and they turn and do something on you that you don't want, and you say no to, or you freeze, or however you react to it, because you don't know how you're going to react, and there's no judgment on the way that you react to it. That's just it's an interesting thing. I kind of lost the question there for a second.
Just what is the myth?
The myth, is that you can, I mean, there's the, your skirt is too short, or, you have too much makeup on, or, women are presenting themselves in this way and they're asking for it and that type of thing. And
that's what I'm saying. Cause I think that's ridiculous. And I hear that often said, and I'm like, that the person did not do anything to make that be thrust upon them. And especially if it's somebody that you know and you're trusting and you're believing that the relationship is what they're saying that it is. I'm actually tagging. I was trying to tag somebody that, I'm going to, hopefully he'll come on for a second and I can say this and let him hear it. But people that officially think that they are in a trusting friendship or in a situation where they're just having a good time with somebody that they thought was cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you are in that situation and then somebody violates it, then that's rape, right? No matter how you slice it, that's rape. Mm-hmm. And I don't understand why that's a difficult thing to process or to understand or to make it clear that this was not something I invited to have happen to me. So it was against my will, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I tagged actually 2 young men. I don't know if they're going to hear this or not, and maybe they'll catch the replay. But a young man when I was growing up, I think Dwayne Simmons, and I grew up right on the next street or the same street that he was on. We were young kids, and I encountered him often, went to his home and everything. And I just feel like I wanted to just say to him on this particular type of show, thank you, because you never violated me or did anything that was harmful to me. And we are of the opposite sex. And that's a huge, everybody can't say that they've been with somebody of the opposite sex and there was no infraction or violation. And the same with, I have Wayne, Mr. Hayes on here, and he was actually one of my best friends in college, male best friends in college. He introduced me to who was ultimately the man that became my husband. But he and we spent so much time together alone in dorm rooms, playing cards and doing these kind of things, Alex, and there were so many opportunities, I guess, for him to have come out of character and say, well, you know what? Hey, nobody's around right now. But he never did that. And so I'm sure both of them are married. And I know Wayne, Mr. Hayes is married to Janice, but I want to just say your spouses, they did a great job of just not violating somebody of the opposite sex, which in this case was me. And I don't know, too often do we get a chance to even say that publicly to people. Just thank you, because my story could have been different at this point,
Yeah, and I think it's great to acknowledge, men who have behaved in a great way like that. A lot of what's happening is sort of a negative, statement toward men, and also obviously this can happen man to man, woman to woman. Like it's not just men to women.
Right.
Just want to point that out for anybody's listening, thinking this happened to me and I'm not a woman. And so.
Right.
So there is that. But yeah, I think there's a lot of really good guys and who would never think of doing something like this. And I don't know that necessarily the ones who do it think about doing it, but it is something that is, it's obviously, it's often an acquaintance or somebody that and they just take it past the beyond consent. So I believe teaching girls and boys about consent is just really important. Just make sure the other person's on the same page. It's really pretty simple,
Yeah.
And you just check with that. Is this okay? Is this okay? Is this okay? And I really appreciate when somebody asks me that, even if it's like, yes, it's fine, just to double check with the person.
That's good. Good advice, Alex, that you're sharing with everyone here today. Make sure that you know that you can say no, and your no should mean no. And it's okay to be able to be asked, is it okay for me to do this to you? Because not everybody should just start just taking it upon themselves to do something that they weren't invited or given the authorization to do. So we're talking with Alex Cap, who's been through some traumatic things in her own life, but she's here to share how she's gotten to the other side. And this video, I'm going to play a little clip of this because I think it's very profound. She wrote, do you want to tell us a little bit as you prelude this video clip that I'm going to share? This is the one, not the beach. This is the other one. I'm going to play just a few minutes of the Me Too one that you talked about.
Yes, I sent her 2 videos, one which is pretty serious and one which is playful on a Malibu beach. And so the first one I guess we're going to go to is called Fearless. And it's a song I wrote partly to process this type of thing and partly also to help other people process, if this had happened to them. And I put together a video that had some statistics about assault and some of the things we've just been talking about. And it's not necessarily fun to watch, but it is sort of eye-opening.
And I'm just going to play a very brief clip of it right now. But again, the million viewers that have viewed the million views on YouTube, make sure that you definitely go and check out the full video on Alex Cap's YouTube channel. But I'm just going to play maybe about 30 seconds to a minute of it, and we're going to go from there. Okay.
Great.
You know what? The music part isn't playing, right? Okay. So let me go back and I'm going to go and find the actual original video again and just play it from the original instead of, because I think it just took the video piece, and that's the whole part of you singing and putting the song to it, which I absolutely love. So I want to share the full screen.
Writing's
Oh,
not
yeah, wait a minute. I
easy,
don't know what's
but
going on with this.
Grammarly
This
can
is
help.
ads. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Grammarly can help everything.
Thanks.
Definitely get your Grammarly
Grammatics.
because but they didn't pay for a sponsorship on here, so I'm not about to go all these ads on here. All right, so let me go and share. I'm going to share the
There you
screen.
go.
Yeah, I want to share the screen though. Let me share the screen because I do want you all to see this footage and hear it as well, not just see it. Give me 1 second and then you all will be able to see and hear, yes, what I am seeing. Perfect. There we go. I'm going to put it on the full screen. Can you see that, Alex?
Yep.
All right, let's play that. Listen, I'm going to stop it there because it's so many statistics. Out of every 1,000 rapes, 994 perpetrators will walk free. This is in the video that Alex is sharing here, and you don't want to miss the opportunity to go through and see this entire video. It's only 3 minutes, so I can go ahead and play it all if you're okay with that, Alex.
I think let's move on to maybe some lighter subject here.
That's what I was like. Let me just determine. I'll get a guide from you because I know with creativity, that's why I stopped. That's okay. We don't want to go all the way, but you can definitely check it out. And it's from her heart to yours. So definitely we'll put that YouTube link. I'll put that right there in the comment section because it's a video worth you taking a moment to take a look at. And it's her story here. All right. So when you did realize that all of this stuff had happened, that's your past. You got to move forward. And you decided to use creativity through music and through a lot of different forms to thrust yourself into your new destiny.
Mm-hmm.
What specifically do you find most peace from pulling from as you're moving forward with your creativity? And what instrument, what do you use that says, this is it, this is me, I'm free flowing, I love this piece of me in my life? Talk to us.
Yeah. So I'm a singer-songwriter and I play with my guitar, which is behind me. one of these directions
It's
over there.
with her at all times, everybody.
It's always there, has my back. So I mainly play on my acoustic guitar and sing, but I also do a lot of writing, and there's sort of writing therapy, which I used later on. Like sometimes you need to process something and then sort of live with that for a while, and then you can process the next thing. So a writing therapy is actually an amazing thing that I don't think a lot of people talk about. And you can you start to write something as just sort of stream of consciousness, and you go from there, and you just let other things start to come out. And after a while, if you go back and read it, you'll start to discover some things about yourself, and you'll start to work through some things just without even realizing you're doing it. And then you'll get to a point where you see it. And then you're like, wow, okay, I've actually moved from here to here on this subject. And so that's a really interesting thing to do. Yeah, so it's mainly I would say through singing, guitar, and writing, but there are a million different ways to be creative. And I think that a lot of adults were creative as a kid in a certain way. Maybe you painted, or maybe you drew, or whatever it was, and that might not be the way that you are creative now. So it's actually kind of fun to experiment and try different forms of creativity and see what hits you as the right thing now. But people get scared of that because they think I'm not going to be any good at it. And if you think you're not going to be any good at it, you don't want to do it. Even if you're not a full-on perfectionist, which I definitely was in the past. And I'm sure some people watching have been in the past too. But even if it's not good, I'm giving you permission here to go ahead and try it, to experiment, to have it be messy, to have it, just be what it is. And it's not just about the destination of where you get to, it's the journey on the way there. It's the process of it that is really powerful and healing, and also fun and exciting. I mean, it's all the things.
Well, you make it seem so attainable. Like, so it's like, Kim, okay, even though you can't sing at all, but just do it. And but then you'll be like, Kim, you really should have just kept that on the back burner, because that wasn't the creativity that God wanted you to use. That's not your philosophy. You saying go, try it.
I'm saying go try it, because it's also like really liberating when you do that for yourself, because we'll stop ourselves from doing so many things because we think we're not going to do it right. And if you just break through that fear and you just do it anyway, that allows you to, grow in other ways too. And it really helps with, creativity actually helps with all the soft skills, and we need the soft skills for any job that we're doing. So, it helps with problem solving, and with stress management, and with productivity and positivity and self-confidence. Like, the more that you are using this part of yourself, the more it affects all of those things. And then all of those things allow you to get a better job. You feel more confident. You speak up for yourself at work, or you speak up for yourself in a relationship. It just has like a sort of exponentially positive effect.
Well, it kind of reminds me of like when Mel Robbins, when she talks about the 5-second rule in her book, and she's saying, listen, just do a countdown, a basic countdown, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just do it. Don't worry about it. Just do it and move forward. And it breaks us out of the whole theory, Alex, of procrastination. If we go with your theory or with Mel's theory and different people that have really implemented this philosophy of, don't worry about it, just do it. It's so free-flowing and exhilarating, but it's hard for people to embrace that if you don't do that for real,
Absolutely. Even if it's just for yourself, by yourself, even that, we get afraid of ourselves. We think, I don't even want to know for myself I'm going to fail at this. It's not even just showing it to other people. And that's such an interesting phenomenon. I don't know how we turned out that way, but it seems to be a pretty common trait of humans, that we don't like to not be good at something. And so we will just shy away from it.
That's interesting. And anybody that can relate that's in the virtual studio audience, put a 1 in the comments if you know exactly what she's talking about. Even when you're behind the scenes, nobody's paying attention to you. That's me. I can talk about myself only, Alex. If I'm in the shower and I'm like, just like, oh yeah, I'm enjoying it. Hey, right? But then I'll be like, I wonder can my children hear me? I wonder can my mom hear me? And I'm still wondering. It's like, I hope nobody outside can hear me, because then they'll be like, is everybody okay in there? But when you're free and by yourself, you're thinking you're just free to just enjoy and to be your best self. But there is still some reservation and hesitation. And I don't know what that theory is. What first step, or 1 step, or 2 steps, or whatever you want to share, could you give people that are stuck and unfulfilled, and we're like, we don't know what to do. I'm not stuck and unfulfilled. I'm just saying we as a generalism.
Mhm.
But if a person is stuck or unfulfilled, when we come back after this commercial break, talk to us about what tips you would give for people to move forward, use that creativity, be free flowing. And I think when I come back, I'm going to show this other video of you in your always video, because this is this free spirited woman that we're talking to today. So we'll be right back after this commercial break, and then we're going to show your video as well. All right, we'll be right back, everybody.
I'm attorney Charles Everidge. I started out representing insurance companies until my father was seriously injured at work. 4 of his fingers were amputated. Our family went through a lot, so I know what you're going through as an injured worker. If you've been hurt on the job, call me now. I'll fight to get the workers' comp benefits you may deserve. I'll fight for you like family. Put my experience to work for you. Call 704-457-5000, the first call for injured workers.
All right, everyone, we're back and we're talking with Alex Cap, who has been through a lot of traumatic things in her own personal life, but she has used creativity to be able to pull herself up and to move forward on a very positive path. This is a video that's by Alex Cap. She produced, and this is her doing tell them about the video right quick before
This song is called Always, and I wrote this song after all this stuff happened and I had gone through my own healing process. I moved back to LA. I continued to do music, and I also formed my business Creative Self Revolution, where I do creativity coaching. And so this is a song that I wrote after that. And so it is in the after times, but it's a really fun, sweet, sort of a love song, and I think maybe you might enjoy it.
All right, we're gonna enjoy it right now.
You and I, beneath the twinkling lights, we're so alive, aglow in the night. And I don't need no roadmap to find my way to you. And I don't need no compass to find the truth. And I will always, always love you. You're the one I choose. Your arms around me, peace has found me. Now that I have you by the crooked tree, your hand upon my knee. We discussed philosophy, your eyes getting lost in me. I'm no longer feeling broken. I'm like I used to be. The words that you have spoken have set me free. And I will always, always love you. You're the one I choose. Your arms around me, peace has found me. Now that I have you, and nothing can stop us, nothing can break us. You gave me your love and no one can take it. As long as I'm breathing, you'll be there, baby. I'll never be nothing more.
Hey, nothing can stop us. Nothing can break us. We on our way here. Nothing. And you know what? When you share that, that is something that is just so uplifting and edifying. And it's like, I don't care what comes, what goes. I am always going to be able to make it. And that's the inspiration I feel from your music right there, Alex. Thank you. Tell us a tip or two that would help people that are stuck and unfulfilled on this journey.
So, I sort of touched on it a second ago with the writing. I think that writing is actually usually the easiest inroad for people because pretty much everybody can write. And So I'm not talking about scripting a whole story and you have a plot and you have to think of all the characters or anything like that. It is opening yourself up and writing from your head or your heart or your soul, however you think about it, and just letting it pour onto the page. And one of the things I think is so powerful about this is if you have a fear and you write it, I feel like as soon as it hits the air, it loses its power. So if it's just living inside of you, if it's just living in your head, it can just fester there and make things worse. If you start to put it out there, it can't do that anymore. So the more that we're able to put those kinds of things out there and just write it down, and sometimes people will be like, I can't really do this. Set a timer for 10, 15 minutes and just start to write. And so just let whatever your fears are, your inspirations, your hopes, whatever you want to start from, and then just let yourself continue, because your brain will keep going once you get it started. It may feel a little bit awkward at first, but you'll pretty soon you'll start to get some benefits from it. Yeah.
That's really good. Everybody, if you're in the virtual studio audience and you have a question for Alex, go ahead and type it in or comment, and I'll pop them on the screen and give her a chance to just do like a flash round of questions and answers. Setting a timer and just writing. You meaning not it's not about journaling. You're saying that every thought that is flooding in our heads just poured out. Like, because I have so many thoughts in a given day, and I use my phone and I'll type it in the notes section, but I don't do it how you're saying do it. You're saying don't put any thought, no rhyme or reason. Don't worry about periods and capitalizations and grammatical corrections and all of that. Just flood it out. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying. And I'm also going to mention, try not to judge it while you're doing it, because sometimes we'll start to do that and then we'll be like, oh my gosh, that sentence wasn't so good. No, it's all good. Just keep going. It is just allowing some part of yourself to come out, and it'll start to free you. You'll start to feel more relaxed. You'll start to feel more comfortable. You'll start to understand yourself better. And then you'll understand what you want, and you'll understand why you want it. It's just, I love creativity.
I love you over there. I mean, you got some stuff flowing over here in my soul that I cannot wait till the show is over, just because I constantly keep notepads. I have hundreds and hundreds of notepads, and I'm always writing, but I'm usually writing something that I feel like God has kind of deposited in my spirit for something that is meant for something. I don't even know what it all is meant for at that particular moment, but then later it surfaces as to go back, get that. That's what this is for, such a time as this, that thing was put into my spirit. And I'm like, what? I label my notebooks and everything. My children, they're like, Mom, how many notebooks do you need? I need all kinds of notebooks, because God's constantly sharing thoughts with me. But what you're saying, I adore that philosophy. Today, Alex, I'm going to, from your training here on the Kim Jacobs Show, I am going to, and I hope all of you all do it too, just get it off of my shoulders, get it off of my thoughts, out of my head. I don't care what it comes across as, and just write.
Yeah.
Write. And what do I do with it after I'm done?
Take a little space from it, and then you can come back to it, a day or two later, and sort of see what you wrote, because you're going to write some things that I didn't know I thought that, or I felt that. It's really interesting once you get into sort of a flow with it. And obviously this is just one exercise. As a creativity coach, I have a million different exercises that I give people when I work with them. I also work with, corporations, and helping them to do workshops to inspire their workers. If you're more creative at work, you're going to do better in your job. You're going to be more innovative. So it's something that there's so many different inroads. If this is not the inroad for you, I would be happy to talk to anybody. I love talking about creativity and figure out what is the thing for you. What is the way in for you? And so just wanted to say that.
Good. Okay. And actually, speaking of which, don't judge the wording. Don't judge the writing, but you will start to feel this is me being more dramatic. Sorry. So see, that's how I would write. So free. You're going to be so free after you do this exercise that Alex is actually sharing. And in order for you to stay connected with Alex, let me make sure that you give them how they can stay connected with you too.
Awesome.
Go ahead and tell them how they can stay connected.
Oh, how to stay connected.
Social media.
So on social media, I'm at Creative Self Revolution on pretty much any platform that you are on. So I'd love to connect on there. I also have a website, which is creativeselfrevolution.com. You can kind of check out other stuff, we can connect through there. If you want to contact me through there, I would be happy to talk to you. I do some free discovery calls. If you're like, I think this might be interesting for me, but I'm not sure, let's talk about it. This is how much I love it. I just think it's something that if everybody was really connected to this and doing it, the world would just be a happier place. If we're all just feeling like we can express and create, it's a beautiful thing.
Yes, it is. And on Monday, for everyone that's watching, and make sure you share this with everyone, I'm the new managing director for eWomen Network in Charlotte, North Carolina. So I'm super geeked up, excited about it. And on Monday, April 11th, our guest speaker is coming all the way from Los Angeles, California, virtually. So that means that any of you all can also participate. And if you're not a member of eWomen Network, all you have to do is just go to this link and register to be. You can do the non-member fee and come on in and hear Alex, who's going to be our guest speaker. She's going to be talking about creativity. Actually, there's a promo video. So let me go to that promo so people will know what's going to happen on Monday from 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let me go over here and let you all hear the promo video from Alex. All right. Wait a minute. Here we go. There we go.
Hi, I'm Alex Kapp, and I am so excited to be the speaker for the Charlotte eWomen chapter on April 11th. I just wanted to come on and briefly introduce myself and tell you a little bit about what you'll learn when you come to the event. So I am a creativity coach and a music artist in Los Angeles. So I may be a little bit different than some other people coming in. My passion is creativity, and it's something that I believe everybody has. It's just that some people are more connected to it and some people are less so. But you can reconnect to it. And when you do, it enhances every single part of your life. I work with people on personal development, on business development. It really is something that infiltrates every part. And once you get connected to it, it's amazing what happens. So we'll be talking about that. We'll be doing some mindset resets around confidence and expansion. I'll be giving you some exercises that you can start to integrate into your days for more creativity. And that will help you in your business as well as your everyday life, as well as your relationships. So I really hope that you will come join us. You also never know what might happen in the afterglow. And that's one of my favorite parts of the eWomen events. So I hope that you will get registered, and I would love to see you there.
There you have it, everyone. Miss Creativity herself, with Alex Kapp, will be our speaker, and she did not talk about anything that she's going to be talking about on Monday. Just so you know, today on the show, we did not touch on what she's going to be dropping knowledge on regarding creativity in social media and all other aspects of business on Monday. So make sure you all register for the event, and I can't wait because we're gonna have a great time. And I'm geeked up. All right. So and make sure you all stay connected with Alex on her Instagram, Facebook, and it's at Creative Self Revolution. And you'll be able to find her there on all of the social media outlets. And on LinkedIn, it's Alex Music. Alex Music. Now, what made you come up with self-revolution, creative self-revolution?
Oh, I spent a long time trying to figure out that business name. It stopped me for a while. Talk about perfectionism. I have to have the right name for this business or I can't do it.
It's perfect. I love it. Creative self-revolution. Yes.
I love it too. And I thought about creative self-evolution, like you're evolving, but I thought that the word revolution was just more exciting. And I think, we're in a revolutionary time in a way. And I think a lot of things are changing for women right now. And, we had that Supreme Court, nomination go through yesterday, and that was a huge thing. She's on there now, so it's a revolution. It's happening. Things are changing. More people are able to do more things. There's more diversity. There's more inclusion. And so anyway, I thought revolution was the way to go. Creative had to be in there. Self, because it is of the self, but it's bigger than the self too. But I think things have to start with us. I do believe that we have to have self-love, and we need to be whole in ourselves, and then be able to give that to other people. I don't believe in using other people to fill us. I think we need to be solid in ourselves. If you're religious, that's something else that is part of that for you. And if you're not, then it's not. But anyway, I do believe that we can be really powerful in ourselves, and when we are and when we feel good and whole, we are able to help other people. And I do believe that each one of us has something unique to offer the world. We're each different, and each of us, even if I gave you the same exercise to do, none of you would do it the same way. And
That's
so
right.
if you don't put your voice out there, then it's lost. It's taken away from us. So I really hope that everybody chooses to use their voice in the world, because we need them.
I agree. And I'm so glad that you are going to be teaching us on Monday how to use our voice and the eWomen Network event, and how to use creativity in the workplace and also through social media, because you have some pretty unique strategies pertaining to that I have never even heard of before. So I'm excited about what I've already heard you speak before, but some of the people that will be coming have never heard what they're going to be in a treat for. So I'm looking forward to that. Now, what other tips or advice or points that you want to make while you're here today on this episode that would just help inspire people that are wanting to know how to go forward in this journey called life? Or tell us some of your personal things that you have going on, as far as, are you dating? Are you married? I don't know nothing about you like that, Alex. I mean, you're over there, you're a beauty queen. And you kind of hush hush about this. And I usually can find stuff on people's pictures. I don't know. I can't find nothing. So you got to tell us what's going on with you.
Well, my as some of us have sort of differing personas. My creative self-revolution is one thing. If you go to my music accounts, there's a little bit more of me being glamorous, or actually a lot more of me being glamorous. So
Right.
if you want to see me being glamorous, then I have an Instagram page for that. And yeah, for a long time, I didn't date, just because I needed to process some stuff. And so I have
Right.
been, and actually it's kind of a funny story. I did a whole bunch of sort of writing self-therapy. I got myself to a really good place. It was February 2020, getting on the dating apps, February 2020.
Oh my gosh.
So
Okay.
then, like, weeks later, the entire world shut down.
It's like,
Awesome
Alex, we're not
timing.
even gonna let you go in this
I
down
know.
this thing. You're
Ah.
way too cute and creative to have to deal with all this drama that's getting ready to unfold. So okay. So and you never know how God works, or the universe, or whatever people call it. But I believe in Jesus. Everybody that come on my show know that. Okay.
Mhm.
But anyway, the thing is, it got shut down. So you didn't even get a chance to get the dating app working.
I mean, I got out there in a couple dates before the entire world shut down, and then I've been, on them. It's I don't know if anybody else has been dating during the pandemic, but it's pretty weird. Because for a long time you couldn't, see anybody. Everything had to be virtual, and so it's strange. So it's a lot better right now than it was, over the last 2 years. That's the positive way to look at it. And we did learn some things from the pandemic. I think people did have some time for introspection, and also to figure out what they wanted. And I
Right.
think it seems like people are taking a little bit longer in some parts of the dating process, because they're thinking about the world differently. And so anyway, I'm totally optimistic about it. It's just it was just funny to me, actually, the timing of that. Like, really?
Really, I'm finally comfortable getting
finally
out here.
ready.
Now, what? The whole world has to come to a halt. It's kind of bizarre. I do agree. Now, with you being open to dating, what type of advice are you able to share with people, as far as being cautious, and what are some things that maybe you implement in your process of vetting people out? Because people need to know these things, especially if you're going on dating apps. I would think that you need to have a lot of strategies and thoughts in place when it comes to opening yourself up to somebody on a dating app. Tell us.
Wow. I don't think I'm probably the best person to ask this question to. I don't feel nearly as confident in this subject as I do in other ones.
Come on, pull that creativity out, Alex.
I mean, I do think you have to be careful. You have to think about, really, it's connecting with yourself. What do I want, and what
That's
would,
good.
what makes me happy, and how can somebody else complement that? And so if you see something that seems like a red flag, swipe left, or if you see that there's some things on there that don't line up with the way that you view the world, then it's probably not going to work. So that's something I like about the dating apps, is sometimes, like, if you meet somebody in a bar, you wouldn't just know some of that stuff. And on the dating app, you can kind of know beforehand, oh, we are not going to agree. We fundamentally see the world differently. So I don't know. I think coming up with your own criteria, being really clear about who you want to meet, and, what kind of a person would be good for you. And yeah, I feel I'm behind on this whole subject. So it's
Oh
actually
yeah, I
very,
get it.
very
Trust me.
humbling for me to feel, I'm doing speaking gigs, I'm going out and doing all this stuff for music and my business. But then when it comes to the dating apps, I'm like, oh man, I'm just
Right.
behind.
You're like, let's get. We don't even need to talk about that because you are
Well,
like, I am
it's
not
good,
well versed in that area. Just pray my strength in the Lord is what you said.
it's
But let
just,
me ask,
it's
you do
vulnerable.
you do some other things too, as far as like creating customized songs, if I'm not
Oh
mistaken.
yes,
Talk to
thank
us
you.
about that.
Yeah, so custom songs is something I started to open up to people last year. And so I write lots of songs for myself, and I've used it to process things. And I thought, wouldn't it be cool if I can open this to other people, and especially stories like love stories. So, like a couple who has an anniversary coming up, or they're getting married, or whatever it is. And you think, what would be a really unique gift? And maybe one person gives it to the other, maybe you do it together. We want our own unique love story told. I hear your story, I learn all about you, then I write a song that is just for you with your story in it. And then you have that. You can play it, if you have an event or something like that, you can just keep it for yourselves. But you would have your own story told through music. And I just think it's magical.
I think that is an incredible service to offer people. And so, what do people do to reach out to you to find out how they can go about getting a customized song?
Okay. I could give you the exact link for that, which is probably
Oh
the smart
yeah,
way to
yeah.
go.
I'll type it. I'm right here typing right now. So go ahead and tell me if you want
Um,
a customized song for a special event. Reach out to Alex. Where?
Let me,
Oh,
can
you're
I,
gonna put it in the back chat area.
I'm going to put it in the chat there, and then I'll
Oh,
go
that's fine. We'll
directly to
take a
the
quick
page.
commercial break. And when we come back, we'll pull that link up for you guys to be able to stay connected and write your Boaz a beautiful love song. Or you can write a Valentine's Day or a nice holiday, or it can be something that is a memorable song that represents someone that maybe passed in your life. And it was a song that they loved. And you want to pull some pieces of the puzzle from that to make something that's in memory of someone. All right, y'all. When we come back, we're going to hear more from Alex Cap about how you can stay connected with her right after this break.
Nothing says I love you more than final expense insurance whole life protection. With funeral advocacy nationwide, saving you and your family 30 to 80% off funerals and cremations. Nothing says I love you more than Get Insured Solutions, LLC. GetInsured.Solutions, 704-499-3616.
Lamb Funeral Home has been serving the Cabarrus County in North Carolina and surrounding communities for more than 9 years. Our staff of funeral directors are dedicated to providing the very highest quality of service and continue to be well respected throughout the communities we serve. Our professionals are caring, experienced professionals who understand that each family is unique and has personal requests and traditions. These requests and traditions are the utmost importance to our staff of licensed funeral directors. From the initial care to aftercare, you can entrust your loved one and arrangements to Lamb Funeral Home.
All right, everyone, we are back and we're talking with Alex Cap, Creative Self-Revolution, and how important it is to use creativity in everything that we do. So if you are interested in getting a custom song created, then this is the link for you to be able to use. It's in the comment section, and you'll be able to get a customized package from this creative songwriter, guitar player, free-spirited, wonderful business owner who's also going to be the speaker on Monday talking about creativity and social media through eWomen Network right on Monday in our platform. All right. So any closing thoughts, Alex?
Well, it was great to be here. We had a conversation that went through all different types of things. So I hope that people listening found something that they resonated with, or something that was maybe inspiring, or maybe you're thinking, maybe I could try something creative this weekend. It's about to be the weekend. Maybe you have a little bit of time. Maybe you can put away 15, 20 minutes somewhere and try something out. So that's what I would hope. And I would love to connect with people if people are interested in, discussing this further.
I think so. I think plenty of people will be interested. And I see several of you all from eWomen Network that are on as well. So let me pop a few of these comments in. I see you, Amy. You said, yes, revolution. You
Yeah.
said, yes. And Amy is a managing director as well with eWomen Network. And she's actually the person that referred me to be for the Charlotte area. So thank you, Amy. I really appreciate it. I'm forever grateful for that. And
Wonderful.
also, Amy said, this is great. This is great. Ernetta Caldwell is on, and she is a vision board expert and
Oh, nice.
deals with how to heal from a broken heart. And this woman is a dynamic speaker as well. And she just is sending celebrations and saying congratulations on you being here today. Thank you so much. Let's see. Oh, Sonia Harmon. Hi. You said, hey,
Hey.
Sonia Harmon. It's a pleasure to have you on today. Alita Moore, I see you put a 1 in the comment. You were connecting with something that was being shared today, and so glad to have you in the virtual studio audience. Yes, Athena said, hey, this is a powerful presentation. Thank you, Alex, for sharing.
Thank you for listening. And it was such a great, and thank you so much, Kim, for having me here. It's just been beautiful.
Thank you. I really hope you had a great experience, and I can't wait for Monday. Let's see. Athena says, great morning, ladies. Annetta said, hey, I'm here. Good morning. Good morning. Yes,
Good morning.
so true. So true. Losing touch happens. I see all of your great comments and your support that's been flooding in. Make sure you all give people the opportunity to see this broadcast. You can start a watch party or whatever. First time listener. Thank you. Aw, TJ said, I am a first time listener. Thank you, Alex, for speaking life into all of us today.
What a beautiful comment. Thank you.
And TJ, thank you for being a light to this world. I know that you are going to salt the earth by doing what God has purposed you to do. And like Alex said, all of us have gifts and talents that we have to be able to use and use them through the creativity that God placed inside of us. So make sure you don't miss out on that opportunity. Thank you for tuning in, TJ, today. All right. So everybody keep in mind that on Monday, Alex, that's one of her glamour shots right there, y'all. Right there. She's going to be our guest speaker. The link is right there in the comments section on Monday from 2 to 4 p.m. for eWomen Network. If you haven't registered for the actual event, you can do so by just going to the link in the comment section. And it's right here as well. eWomenNetwork.com. We'll see you on Monday from 2 to 4 and a part of the Afterglow and the pre-networking. If you don't know what eWomen Network is, make sure you go check it out, eWomenNetwork.com. I'm the new managing director, Kim Jacobs, in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I'm honored to be a part of this organization. If you are interested in actually supporting the Kim Jacobs Show, many people want to know, how do you keep the show on Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time? The only way I can bring great guests like this every single day is by having online contributors like yourself that pour into the program. Whether you become a Patreon member, Cash App, whatever way that you decide that you want to support the program, feel free to do so. And also take a moment to subscribe. And that's right on our YouTube channel, The Kim Jacobs Show. All right, Alex, so let me put your contact information up one more time. And people can stay connected with you. How?
People can connect with me on social media at Creative Self Revolution. You can also go to creativeselfrevolution.com to see some more about what I do and to get in contact if you would like to chat.
All right, everyone. On that note, we will see you again on, oh, wait, we got 2 collages here I wanted to show. Tell us about this collage.
Yeah, I just wanted to show a little bit about, some of the stuff that happened through my music career. And on there, we have the 2 songs that we talked about today, Fearless and Always.
Yeah.
And some of that is fan artwork, the Team Alex thing. And so it's just like we need support for every single part of our businesses, music included. And this is just some of the speaking topics. I've been doing more speaking. I would love to be speaking more. So if anybody has the need for a speaker about creativity, I'm the one you should call.
Absolutely. She is definitely the one to call. And the topics are, because I can't see them that well. So tell me what they are.
We have Reignite Your Creativity for more confidence, income, and success. We have Spark Your Creativity and Captivate with your content. And we have the missing tool to being the best you.
That's some good stuff. All right, everybody. Make sure you stay connected with Alex Cap. She's all the way from Los Angeles, but she can virtually definitely get to you. And if you want to fly her in too, she can get to you as well. All right. So everybody, we will see you again on Monday right here on the Kim Jacobs Show. Stay backstage, Alex, for a quick second. And I will see you guys on next week. Have a great
Thank you, Kim.
everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
You're amazing. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kim Jacobs, host of The Kim Jacobs Show, where we're bringing balance to the world one household at a time. Listen, we go live every weekday, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I bring guests on that talk about their backstories, things that they've had to overcome to become who they are today. Many of them are balancing and juggling life, and they've become experts in different fields. So they're sharing tips with you to make your life just a little bit easier. Many times as a guest in the studio audience, you'll get a chance to walk away with a missing piece of the puzzle that might be missing in your life. Let's go on this journey together, and I look forward to seeing you Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on The Kim Jacobs Show.